Now for the track guide. Before starting, if you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out GITGUDracing.com. I have a lot of courses that I can help you with. Now, going into this track guide itself, for turn 1, reference for braking will be this blue cone on the left side. Slightly before it, you want to apply the brakes. You want to put your left tires on this curb because this curb is not that tall, so your braking performance won't be affected if you're using it. And by matter of fact, we're using a lot of braking pressure in this corner, 94%, and holding it constant because this is just a textbook straight line, no elevation change. So your brake pressure shouldn't drop initially unless you start to micro turn into the corner like we're doing right now, and that's why we're dropping the pressure. Now in terms of the approach, we're going to be using third gear. You want to drag the brakes into the corner as long as you can. You're going to be mounting the curb, and the moment that you feel the suspension taking the curb, that's the moment that you're pressing the throttle. It will also stabilize the rear end, but also you're going to be gaining here on the minimum speed part going into the next corner. So for the next corner, you want to push the car in the center and you want to turn with 100% throttle. Don't drop the throttle yet. Almost flat, and then as you get closer, you're going to dropping the throttle. So just a throttle lift when you get closer. Then when you feel the suspension taking the curb again, then you're going to be pressing the throttle again. Now, the moment that you're going to be braking in the next corner is just the moment that you straighten up the wheel because you were turning while pressing the throttle, then you balance it out by putting the steering wheel straight, and now you're going to be braking. Brake with the steering wheel almost center, in third gear, going to second as you get closer to the apex, trail braking the corner, and once you see that this bigger part on the yellow anti-curve starts to end, that's the moment that you press the throttle. Modulate it a little bit in the beginning because the rear end can slide on you, but then press it aggressively, and now you're just gonna keep it flat. Next corner in front of us, going with 100% throttle, upshifting to 6th and just doing a small lift. But what's important here to do is to cut around the grass, like what we're doing here. You see, we have the curb in the middle of the dash, in the center of the screen. You have to do this, otherwise you will have to do a bigger lift and you will lose speed. Using all the space here on the right side, and for this corner, you're going to be braking in the middle of the 150 on the left side. You see here, this 50-meter board. You have to look on the left side while braking, so that's a little bit different, but this is the best reference that you can use. You're gonna hitting high percent braking, like 90-95%, going into third gear, then second, and what you need to do with your vision, with your eyes, is to look deeper into the corner. You don't want to touch the curb here early on, you just want to touch it on the exit like this. Notice the brake shape, notice how long we put our brakes into the corner, how deep we go with the braking. This is something that you have to do because otherwise you won't get the rotation. This car doesn't have a lot of downforce, so most of the grip, it's just the mechanical grip. You have to do this. And by the way, this was done with the fixed setup, of course, but if you want to go faster, maybe in other cars, maybe in this car in a league, highly encourage you to check Go Setups out. Link in the video description. We also have a 10% discount code. But for this right-hander here, this is just a long right-hander with 4 corners coming up. You want to do a throttle lift, just like this. Eventually drop it to 0 and then let the car coast into this part. I found that this is the best way around it. The car will be much more balanced when you get to this position. You will not overheat the front tires, and then you will just push the throttle from this position onwards, pushing the throttle, but not go to 100%. You're basically maintaining it so that you push the minimum speed up while you're cutting that curb, arriving again here on the left side, and from this position onwards with just a little brake, and then pushing the throttle back on to 100%. You see, it's quite a tricky section, but it flows really, like the flow is really good. For this left-hander, when you have arrived here in the center of the track, you're going to drop the throttle, add a little bit of brake, like 5% braking, getting very close to this red sausage anti-curb and apex around it. Now, the moment that you land with the car straight, that's the moment that you press the throttle once again when you press the brake once again when the steering wheel is straight. cutting over this curb just like that, holding the brake pressure applied, and you're going to be pressing the throttle a little bit later than the first 30% part of the curb. Just like that, 100% throttle using all the space around here. Now we prepare for the next right-hander. For this one, you're going to be braking, but not as hard. Reference for braking is between 150. And then in fourth gear, going into this apex, you want to apex around the anti-curb on the right side, pushing the throttle, but not that aggressive. You have to modulate a little bit because otherwise we will just go wide. And we're approaching the double apex part of the track. Reference braking is the beginning of this curb around here. You're going to be braking, going into third gear, apexing very close to that red and yellow anti-curb in third gear, then pressing the throttle, bring the car all the way here on the right side, but don't put it on the green curb, and then turn with 100% throttle. You will drop it, add a little bit of brake, like 1% brake, and then push the throttle once again. It's the same approach as in the previous corner, honestly. So you just have to play with the brake and throttle input so that you keep this tight line. Going into the last two corners of the track, what you want to do here is before the 100, brake hard in a straight line, use this curb to open up the corner in third gear. Now you have to trail brake because you see this corner goes for quite a long time. So low percent trail braking, still trailing, getting close to yellow anti-curb, still trailing, and then pushing the throttle. So if you look at this brake trace, notice that you have to drag the brakes a lot into that corner using this space, and now heading towards the last corner of the track at a 50-meter board, braking in a straight line initially, but then very quickly we're transitioning to turn in. Make sure you're using this curb. This can give you quite an edge to open up the track. And then before hitting this curb, you want to press the throttle because this corner leads to a huge straight. So here, the earlier you are on throttle, the more time you're gonna gain. You don't want to press the throttle after the curb, you want to press it before it. So prioritize the exit, keep the throttle pinned, use all the space, and in short, that's the lap. So I hope you like it, I hope you enjoy it. If you want to improve at a quicker pace, check out GITGUDRacing.com, go setups, and I'm looking forward to see you in the next one. Bye bye.